Hello and welcome to the orientation video for grades 1, 2, and 3 for the International Academy of Iraq. My name is Andrew Doherty and I'm the principal at IAI. And I'll be taking you through a quick video to give you a breakdown of things that you might need to know. We will have a meeting with new parents and parents of grade 1 students in the upcoming week. We like to have this orientation video out so you see the basics and give your children a chance to sit through a few days of class so they may have questions of their own. And that way we avoid having long meetings with the parents where all the questions are theoretical. So let's get started. The agenda is here. You can scroll back and forth to see if we're following the agenda or not. Again, my name is Andrew Doherty, the principal. This will be my 4th year at International Academy of Iraq. One of the things I'm most proud of is that we have 11 nationalities represented on our teaching staff. So we have teachers from 11 different countries. This gives us a truly global and international perspective on things which other schools aren't able to offer. The qualities that we instill in our students and see demonstrated by our teachers are integrity, leadership, adaptability, resilience, and compassion for others. We're always interested to hear when you see evidence of this, and we do reward it in our students. Our curriculum at IAI is based on the American Common Core standards for the state of California. Also, due to a ministerial decree, we will be doing things based on the advanced placement exams and the SAT further down the line when your children get into grade 9 through grade 12. But it does give us a different perspective because we know very clearly what it is that is expected of us in the older grades. Our year is structured into 2 semesters. There are 4 assessment cycles, which we'll talk about a little bit later, in each of those semesters. And there are 7 lessons every day for grade 1, 2, and 3. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 too. Last year we went through a re-accreditation visit from Accreditation International and received very high marks for everything that we did. I'm very happy about that and proud of the whole school community for helping support this. It's very important to us. And they gave us some very good recommendations that I think will help improve the school. We're sending an updated version of the calendar to you very soon because we started a week later than we thought we would. That was always sort of our plan B, so we knew it might happen, and it's happened in the past. But it's a good way to see the entire calendar for the school year so that you can plan ahead, especially when it comes to where the breaks and vacations are. It's always difficult when a student is taken out for something and misses the teaching and learning that happens in the classroom. It's not about just making up work that you've missed. A lot of things happen in the classroom that just cannot be repeated outside. This year, here's the schedule for the winter break on the left here and the predicted date for the start of Ramadan. We do have classes during the fasting month and we only break at the end. The end of the school year for grade 1, 2, and 3 is the 28th of May. Communication is very important to me. It's something I do workshops on, and I'd like to see the communication between teachers, parents, students, and parents in the community improve this year. So we do have some new rules in place for teachers and some expectations for parents about what emails should be about, what we're ready to accept, and consequences for things from either side that I consider to be inappropriate if they happen this year. We use Classera as the only tool for school management and for communication with parents and with students. Teachers are not allowed to share their WhatsApp number, their phone number, or their Gmail or personal accounts. If they do, they can get in serious trouble for that. So please do not ask them for it. Everything will go through Classera. So anything from management All school reports are shared through, sorry, I'm confusing it with a different system, with Classera, and we don't send them any other way. All right, teachers will communicate academic work, sharing things that students need to work on. That'll all come through Classera. Timetables this year, you'll see what the distribution is on the left there. For English has 7 lessons a week, math 6 lessons a week. This is for grade 1, 2, and 3 with some variation. You'll also notice up here on the right side that kindergarten finishes a little bit earlier than everyone else. Grade 1 until grade 8 finish at 2:15, and the buses will leave at 2:30. Because of the new program from the Ministry of Education to achieve very high results on the SAT and AP exams, we've added another class for the older students. So if you have siblings, that's something to keep in mind. Students in grade 9 to grade 12 this year will finish at 2:55. That's just before 3 p.m. every day. So assessment in grade 1 to 3 is a continuous assessment. They do not have exams. When you're communicating with a teacher about a quiz, please call it a quiz. A quiz is a very short, less than 10 question, typically 5-question quiz to let the teacher know if the students understand. They don't need to stay up all night long studying for quizzes. But it's also not an exam, which would typically last for around an hour. We don't do those in grade 1, 2, and 3. All right, in those 2 semesters, they're broken down for the teachers and the students into assessment 1. That's where the teacher will begin to average together the work that's been done up to that point in time. Then we have the midterm. For the older students, they're doing a midterm exam, but grade 1, 2, and 3 do not. But this is the second time where teachers will average the work the student has done since assessment 1. Then we do the same thing for assessment 3, and at the end of the semester, we have a semester report. We do the same thing in semester 2 from January until the end of May. Here's how it's broken down. So in the first assessment, second assessment, third assessment, each of them is worth 25% so that the total equals as close to 100 as the student has earned, and that's what will show up on the final report for the semester. All right, these are very often broken down into tenths and hundredths of a point, for instance, a 98.5. All right, and then you see how those are broken down even more. All the quizzes that the student has done up to the first assessment deadline are equal to 50%, classwork 10%, homework 10%. This all breaks down by the teacher. I realize it totals up to more than 100, but the teacher chooses from this. All right. And you can see this is also like the writing workshop, reading fluency. That's very much part of the English class. There are also subcategories that the teacher can choose down here. So the top one, 50%, 10%, 10%, everybody has that. And then they choose from the ones below that until they get a total of 100. Report cards look like this. They'll show you the grades. This is the end of the year report card for this first semester, the second semester, the average, and then what is their grade, a letter grade. Here are breakdowns and comments from teachers. You'll notice the color coding on the right, and you'll see an A, O, W, or NI, meaning above level, on level, working towards the expected level, or NI, meaning that needs improvement. And the very last page here shows you the total of the marks, how you break that down on the grade scale, what's the final grade, where they rank in their grade level and in their actual section. So the level rank would be for grade 2, the section rank would be just for 2A. All right, one of the really important things that you will see and receive very soon are the weekly plans. These are live, meaning that the teacher can change them at any time, because sometimes the day goes really well and they're moving faster than expected. Sometimes it's a bit slow, or something happens like a fire drill that the teacher didn't plan on, and it interrupts what they were doing, so they need to make adjustments. This is for parents. So the students can see this, but it's not expected that they will. What they do is they get this information in the class. Okay? But if parents want to support their children, you'll need to look at the weekly plan, which explains what classwork is being covered that week. And then any homework is given here where the days are listed. Each of those cells is for homework. Quizzes do not have to be listed here by the teacher. Sometimes they do, and that's a good thing. But if a quiz is here and not in the next thing I'm going to show you, then it doesn't really count, meaning that it could be canceled. Here we have something that you'll be sent a link as well called the no conflict schedule for assessments. This is the way we make sure that students have not more than 2 assessments in a day. So this is an example from last year, because this year isn't filled in yet. And you can see on nobody has a conflict here. No. So on Thursday, take a look at Thursday. You'll see in period 3, 1D has a math quiz, and in period 5 they have a social studies quiz. That's the maximum number of quizzes they can have that day. If a third one is added, then be sure to let me know, and I will remove the last one or have the teachers negotiate with each other, but being sure that we give parents and students enough notice to prepare. All right, so no more than 2 assessments in a day. And yes, that is a little bit below average about how many we might give a student. So it's not too much. Okay, teaching and learning in the school. Our core subjects are English, social studies, math, and science. These are all taught by international teaching staff with excellent English skills. We have Arabic support, and Islamic classes that are taught by qualified local teachers. Our internet communications technology is taught by a multinational team of experts. We have added another teacher to that team this year, which I'm very happy about, and he's already helping me out with a few things. Our French teacher is qualified to teach Arabic, French, German, and English. We have music, art, our local staff, 2 art teachers this year. PE, so we have 2 teachers that everybody who's been here knows them, and some of the teachers I'm most proud of. Teacher assistants are in all grade 1 to 3 classrooms. They also, I'll go back and remind you about, they are not allowed to give you their personal communication information. So please do not ask them for that. If you pressure them and press them giving to that, then we have a set of consequences for the parent and the TA. They cannot provide that to you. And this is so that we make sure that all things are fair and equitable, and no student gets an unfair advantage over the others because they have private contact with the parent. Communication is a positive tool, and you can lose your communication privileges, which means we cut you off from Classera if we feel like any communication is disrespectful, inappropriate, or threatening. And be sure to let me know if you think you get anything from teachers that is inappropriate. We do have a filter that teachers are required to use that should prevent that from happening, but if it does, you be sure to let me know. I think it's important for us to work together as a community for providing what's best for the students and what we can do together. And I hope that we will have some parents in who are speaking to the students this year in their area of expertise. It is a student-centered approach to learning, so it's not the old-fashioned way of the teacher just standing in front of the room lecturing nonstop or reading from the book. That has to happen occasionally, but it shouldn't be happening very often. So these are important values, again, that we wanted to instill in our students and to be demonstrated by the teachers. And behaviors. So we ask and understand before we judge why things are happening. We comment rather than complain because we're looking for solutions. We believe that everyone is working for the best of every child and everyone is doing the best they can with the tools they have. If something is not working or somebody is not performing at the level we think they can, typically it's because they don't have the right tool. So these are the teachers with the current distribution and schedule this year. So you can go back to this in the video and have a closer look. And that's it. I'm from Texas, so I thought I'd say thank you and goodbye the Texas way. It's a tip of the hat, and I am really excited to meet all the new parents, and I will see you around the school. Watch for an email invitation for the parent meeting, which should be coming up in about a week. All right, y'all have a good day.